Testing. All right, Shalom Israel. Shalom Yabashem Yashab Thumb to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Ba'ashem Yahweh to the sisters. We at the Isupk Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge started out on 1 West 125th Street, Hall, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And we are not affiliated with any of the Hebrew Israelite groups. We teach that all so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are God's chosen people. We are the true biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of. And Esau, or as you know him as white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
So today we're going to be continuing. We're starting to get towards the end of Genesis. You know, again, I just want to bring this out real quick. Brought this out last week. You know, for all those people out there who like to say, you know, I read the Bible front and back, and right. I know everything about the Bible. Those who've been rocking with us, see how long it took for us to get through Genesis.
Right.
This is the first book, the beginning, and we're just now starting to get towards the end of it. So you really got to get in this truth to really deep dive into this Bible and truly get real understanding. So with that being said, we're going to do Genesis chapter 47, verse 2 to Genesis chapter 48, verse 19. 49 verses in Hebrew. Please note, Allah will be reading in Hebrew, and then we'll give the breakdown in English. You got anything else for me to continue?
Nah, sir.
All right, so with that being said, Mijam, just me and brother here.
La Yashala, which means two or for Israel. Which means to rise and face the east. Salakia. We'll be going over the prayers in the Hebrew and then in the English. We'll start with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak Watka, Raba'ah, Watazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Babataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, the Thalanawa, the Kum, Kal, the Wum, Wasalakanawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalakanawa, Kabawafnawa, Wala'ah, Kabayah, the Wum, Balasai one, Abal, Habashaynawa, Hayah, Rai, Hayah, the Kum, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Watafa Arath, Lawalumium, Aman.
Now in the English, our Father.
Our Father, which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name. Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done
in
earth
as
it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Amen. Hakak the power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Babakusha, the Thalanawa, Hakak, Rapa'ah, Kal Maka Allah, Ukal Manawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamat Zarayim, Hakak, Quayam, Hamatim, Hakak, Araka Awaf, Atama Allah, Garshan, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, the water, Amen.
Now in the English, Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah,
please
give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness, all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you. So be it. Bless Israel, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, Wayashala, Waha, Bayah, Sapaya, Barak, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, the water, Amen.
Say was Lord.
Lord,
in
the name of Yahushua,
bless us
and Israel, and the school. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, All, Ohayim, Mayan, Yabah, Azoya, Ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayah, Waratazah, Ayatan, Lamawat, Wagarka, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shabamar, Yashala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Azalka, Ayad, Yayaka, Yawam, Ashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Salakia, White Rock, Malayala, Yahweh, Yashmarka, Makal, Rai, Yashmar, Afnapaska, Yahweh, Yashmar, Tazapta, Wabaka, Mayata, Wa'ai, Iwalam.
Now in the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
So
whence comes my help?
My help
coming from the Lord,
which made heaven
and earth.
He will not suffer
thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth
thee will not slumber.
Behold,
he
that
keepeth Israel shall not slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Alahayim, Adam Yalaka, Altaka Arash, Altash Kwat, Al Kayahana, Obayabiyaka, Yahamayawan, Ra'ach, Al Imaka, Yawayamu, Shabada, Wata, Yatazawa, Altazawanika, Amarwa, Lakawa, Walakakina, Wagaya, Wala, Yazakar, Shomiashala, Awada, Kaya, Yawatazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Alika, Maria, Yakaratwa, Ahaya, Alawam, Wai, Yashima, Aliyam, Mawa'abu, Wagaryam, Gabal, Wamawan, Wamalak, Halashak, I'm Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Amam, Hayawa, Zarawa, Labunya, Lawat. Salah. I'm reading. I'm on that. Aishalaham, Kamagian, Kasiya, Sarah, Kayabyan, Balakal, Koyashwan, Nashamawa, Bayan, Dara, Ayawa, Daman, Ladama, Shatawa, Nada, Yamawa, Kaira, Kazaba, Kazbak, Kazamana, Kal, Nasiakuma, Ashar, Amara, Narasha, Nanawa, Nawa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shatawa, Kagagla, Kakwash, Napunya, Raka, Kaash, Naba Iwa, Iwa, Wa, Kalahaba, Kalahat, Haryum, Khan, Daradama, Basa Iwata, Wabasa, Apaka, Tabahalam, Bala, Panyaham, Palawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya, Bahawa, Ayait, Waya, Kapara, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Dawa, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahawa, Labaka, Aywan, Alkal, Raptazah.
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
O God.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name Israel.
Maybe no more
in remembrance.
So they have consulted
together with one consent.
They are confederate against
the tabernacles of Edom and Israelites of Moab and Harim, Gabal and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre.
So also
was joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as to the Midianites, as to Sisera,
as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their numbers like Orel, and like Zaid. Yea, all their princes, as Zabah, and as Amunya, who said, let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession. Oh my God. Make them like the wind, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burns the wood, as the flame sets the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame
and
perish.
And may know
That men may know
that
thou, whose name alone
is
is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Why Yahweh Shai, Why Ma'aka'ala, Why Lahayim, Bataz Ya'ah, Alawap Yahana, Halawam Yam, Hasranyam, Hakwatas Yoyam, Hakaya Yoyam, Waha Awakim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Go Wada, Amen.
Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and angel, manager Yahweh, the general, the captain, the officer, the truth, and the sister, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. Sorry, it's me. All right, maybe seated. Okay.
As for those who might not just be tuning in, again, Genesis chapter 47, verse 2. We're going to go all the way to Genesis chapter 48, verse 19, 49 verses in the Hebrew. We're going to do 7 verses in the Hebrew and 7 verses in the English, and then continue.
All right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 47, verses 2 through 8. Wama Kwataza, Akayawa, Lakwa, Kamashai, Anashiyam, Waya Tazagum, Lapunya, Power I, verse 3, Waya Amar, Power I, all, Akayawa, my I Shakam, Waya Marwa, all, Power I her, Ra'ai, Tazan, I buy Abadayak, Gum, Ana Kanwa, Gum, Abawath, Yanawa, verse 4, Waya Marwa, all, Power I, like a war, Ba'aratazai, Ba'anwa, Banwa, Kaya, Ayan, Mara'ai, Latazan, Ashar, La'ai, Badiyak, Kaya, Kabad, Hara'aiba, Ba'aratazai, Kana'ain, Wa'ata, Yashabwa, Na'a, Abadayak, Abadyak, Ba'aratazai, Gashun, verse 5, Wayamar, Power I, Al, Yawasap, La'amar, Abayak, Kayak, Bawa, Bawa, Alayak, verse 6, Ratazah, Matazarium, Matazarium, Lapunyak, Hawa'a, Bamaya Tab, Ha'aratazah, Hawashab, Abayak, Wa'ath, Aka Yawa, Yashabwa, Ba'aratazah, Gashun, or Wama Yada Ith Wayash Bama Anash Yub Kayal Washa Matham Sharai Shaya Makwana Al Ashar Laya verse 7 Wayaba'a Yawasap Ath Yaikwab Abba Yawa Abayawa Waya I Mado Dawa Lapunya Para I Waya Barak Yaikwab Ath Para I verse 8 Waya Amar Nara I Al Yaikwab Kama Yamya Shanya Ka'a Yayak. Wow. Never read those, bro. We're at 747. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 47, verse 2. So at this point, just to give you a brief recap, the brothers found out that Joseph is the basically second in command of Egypt. Joseph runs Egypt now, basically behind Pharaoh. Now he's brought his brothers and his fathers to Egypt. So now he's preparing them to speak in front of Pharaoh and how to address Pharaoh. This day you're going to start to get into the shepherd kings and how we became so mighty. This is why when you read down in Egypt, a latter Pharaoh said, "Hey, who are these guys? They're not Egyptians. We need to slow them down before they get more mightier than us." This is the start of that. We're gonna start getting into that in about 3 weeks from now, 2-3 weeks from now, right? Because we're at the end of Genesis, basically. Okay, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 47, verse 2. And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh. So Joseph at this point has 5 of his brethren with him. So they walk up to Pharaoh, right? And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, "What is your occupation?" And they said unto Pharaoh, "Thy servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers." Here's the thing, you got to really think about how this conversation is going and how Egyptians look at shepherds. They look at it like working people, working class people who don't have much, so they're not a threat. So Pharaoh's looking at them like, okay, you gotta understand how Pharaoh even met Joseph. He found out Joseph was just a slave, basically. So it's like, only way a man can really become a slave is if he come from just some old shoddy family. So he's not looking at them as a threat. He's not looking at them on what they become and how powerful they are. But they just say, man, we're shepherds. That's how we are. Knowing that Egyptians have no dealings with shepherds because Egyptians look down on shepherds. So now he's like, this is a plot. This is it's a book. It's a chapter in Proverbs talks about I think like 23. I forget, but it talks about how a wise man. Jim Muhammad just brought it out. How a wise man can bring down a city. Just because we're not as strong as you are, we're smarter than you. We have more wits than you. Joseph is already planning this from the start. He's letting it be known. My family members, they're just shepherds. They're nobody important. They're nobody special. Yep. Not knowing the quality of a shepherd. Not knowing what you have to do to be a shepherd. We went over this last week. What's your duty as a shepherd? Your duty is to feed the flock. How do you feed the flock? You got to have knowledge. You got to have work. You have to grind. You got to bust your behind daily. They got to know that you're somebody that they can depend on. So a sheep just gonna follow. So to be a shepherd, it takes a lot. But again, Egypt don't look at shepherds as if they're somebody that's important, of high ranking, of anybody you should pay attention to, of anybody that deserves respect. But anyway, back to business. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, "What is your occupation?" And they said unto Pharaoh, "Thy servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers." They said moreover unto Pharaoh, "For to sojourn in the land are we come, for thy servants have no pasture for their flock. For the famine is sore in the land of Canaan." Mind you, I want you to remember this part. We was in the land of Canaan. We've been sojourning. Yaquab or Israel, Yashala has been sojourning from land to land to land. They ended up in the land of Canaan. We're gonna need that when you start to read about the Hyksos or the Shepherd's King. It's gonna tell you where about these shepherd kings come from. It's gonna say the land of Canaan. I'm just prepping you now. Verse 4, Salaki. For to sojourn in the land are we come, for thy servants have no pasture for their flocks, for the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Now therefore we pray thee, let thy servants dwell in the land of Goshen. Goshen, what you don't know is pretty much, let's say, you can say northwest, maybe northeast, I don't know. But I know it's north of Egypt, but it's in Egypt, but it's north of it. That's good fertile land. You know why? Because the Nile River runs right along. So that's a good land to get. Now mind you how to ask them, say, please, your servants, thy servants, were asking for this land in Goshen, which I'm telling you is the best land in Egypt. We're going to prove it. Now, therefore, we pray thee, let thy servants dwell in the land of Goshen. Verse 5. And Pharaoh spake unto Joseph, saying, thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee. The land of Egypt is before thee. Pharaoh's having this conversation with Joseph. Mind you, Joseph is his right-hand man. I'm breaking everything down. Joseph is his right-hand man at this point, vice president of Egypt, basically. He said, hey, look, your family has come upon unto thee. I offer them the land of Egypt. Let's get this next part. The land of Egypt is before thee. He's letting them know, our land of Egypt is before you. Bring your family. In the best of the land, make thy father and brethren to dwell. Do you know how special that is? A man who's not even of that lineage, a man who's not even a Hamite, who's not even an Egyptian. Pharaoh is telling him, hey man, you know, you've been so worthy, you've been so righteous, you've been so great to me. Give your father and your brethren the best land that we have in Egypt. Give them the best land. This land that is green. Every place else is full of famine, full of sand and dust and dirt and brimstone. This land right here, you can get this land. You know why? Because y'all just shepherds. Y'all ain't gonna hurt us. I know y'all got good intentions. Y'all is not ill-intended. Y'all can get the best of the land.
If I could,
yes, sir.
I want to touch more on what you brought out as far as the Egyptians and Pharaoh did not view Joseph and his brothers and his father as a threat in a sense, right? And like you said, we'll get to it eventually. It'll all correlate with each other. There is a time where, of course, we're still living up under the Egyptians, and we became a little too powerful. Again, didn't attack the Egyptians. We didn't do anything, but they saw they get a little too militant, they get a little too organized,
right?
And he did everything he could to push us down. We'll get to that later. I'm gonna focus on this real quick. You have to understand, Joseph, right? Joseph, mighty man, very honorable man, second in command of Egypt, right? Why is he the second in command in Egypt? It's because Salakia, he was a slave. Pharaoh viewed him as somebody that was lower.
Right.
Oh, you're not a threat. You'll be up under my wing. It's you ever heard that saying, I want to see you do good, but not better.
Yes.
That's literally what this is. Pharaoh is cool with him handling his business, right? As long as you're not a threat to what I got going on. The reason why I'm bringing this out is because this is your oppressor today. Everything that you read about the Bible correlates to today because it's biblical. This is history, right? You wonder why, okay, for a perfect example, I don't know if everybody's been keeping up with the news and stuff, the fires that are going on in California, right? Came across a video and it's a brother and he's outraged. He's not outraged about the fires. He's outraged about how the media is portraying Black people.
Right.
Because y'all seen this before. Anytime there's a natural disaster, some type of crisis, when white people take things from these stores, it's called gathering resources.
Mm-hmm.
When Black people take from these stores, guess what it's called? Looting. It's looting. We're stealing.
Right.
Which I actually just recently found out, when there's a natural disaster or a crisis going on, it's actually not considered looting. It's survival. I think I don't know if it's a law, but it's not called looting. But you see how they paint us as a criminal when we're doing the same exact thing as so-called white man. I mean, look at Donald Trump. Don't get me wrong, I ain't like Kamala Harris. I mean, it's literally picking the lesser of two evils. It's still evil though. Donald Trump is a felon. I think he's actually going to court now for something else as well. I got to touch up on that story, but we all know ain't nothing going to happen to him, though. You want to know why? Because these rules and regulations only really apply to people that look like you and me, or the working class citizens, if you will. Like, you got to pay your taxes. A lot of these rich people, they get out of taxes. They don't do what me and you do. He's a felon, and he's president.
Right.
You a felon, good luck trying to find a job. It's going to be harder for you because this is their nation and they can get away with things like that. You sit here and you wonder, like, okay, well, why does the white man always like try to come after us for everything? We just be sitting around not doing nothing, minding our business. It's because he has to consistently make sure that we don't get a little too ahead of ourselves. All the black communities that we have ever made, they destroy them every single time. We didn't do nothing, at least that's how we think, but to them we're doing something because we're becoming a little too organized. That's the whole point. They got to keep us down. So right now, Pharaoh is allowing for him to do all these things because he doesn't view him as a threat. It's the same thing when you see all these black celebrities, and for a time at least, Candace Owens, for a time, she was allowed to like speak badly of the black community because she's married to a white man.
Right.
You know, she has her education, and you know she's on their side.
Right.
That's how it was portrayed for a while. Now, I mean, she's still married to a white man, but now a lot of people don't like her now because now she's saying things that, well, we said. Literally, she called the Jewish man the synagogue of Satan. I wonder where she got that from. She started calling out the rainbow community,
right?
And didn't give an F about it. Went up to, I think it was like some pep rally or something. I think she was still pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
And you know what video I'm talking about? She walked up. I like Candace. She said, like, I don't got time for this. Like, put on a helmet. I don't got time for your feelings. And I'm just like, that's cold. But now they don't like her.
Right.
And I think they like shut her down on like certain social media platforms. My whole point is now you're a threat. Now you're opposing them. Now, we got to shut you down. Same thing with Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, you've been tap dancing forever. As soon as you started bringing out something about the so-called Jewish man, what happened? They threatened him, and then he had to make an apology. Kyrie Irving ain't do nothing. That was a public lynching. They publicly humiliated that man for literally just having something on his personal page. That's it. That's all he had because he found it interesting. Oh wow, God's chosen people. That's all he did, and he was made to pretty much be like a public sacrifice, if you will. That's all. So I just want you to keep that mindset in mind when we're reading this. Yes, Joseph is allowed to do all these things, but he's only allowed to do these things because, as of right now, at least, Pharaoh does not view him as a threat. So just keep that in mind as we continue to read.
Verse 6, the land of Egypt is before thee, and the best of the land make thy father and brethren to dwell. In the land of Goshen, let them dwell. And if thou knowest any men of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. This is heavy. Okay, imagine the president gives you, he say, hey, this is mine, but I'm gonna let you run it. You now have special privileges that other people do not have. You are now in charge of something that is the president. So you have, basically, it's like this. Dabawan, Atazam, myself, we have technical command over Sabbath service. So anything that's Sabbath related comes to us. Mm-hmm. I'm the last on the totem pole when it comes to this, but I'm on the totem pole. You know, I'm here. So you run up to me, I'll run up to him and run up to Dabawan, and we'll see if that is okay to do for Sabbath services here. Every brother has a duty, has a job, and you put in charge of something. Well, this time they had cattle in Egypt too. Everybody has cattle somewhere. Yeah. So, but the cattle that's used for food, that is now ran by who? The shepherd kings, the Israelites, Jacob's sons, Yash'ala. We now got the best land, and we now run the cattle. He said, if you see any brothers that is active among the brothers, meaning that they're doing work. I'll read it again. I don't want y'all to think I'm making up words. if thou knowest any man of activity among them, I mean, you brought 70 people with you. Remember, 70 souls went in, right? You brought 70 people with you. You see any man among them of activity. If you see any man among you who is doing work, who is active in the work that you're doing, then have them run my cattle. Am I making, do you get what I'm saying? I know he get what I'm saying. I come from him. I know what he's saying. He know what I'm saying. Do you understand what the Bible is saying? I'll read it again. And if thou knowest any man of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. That's spiritual.
If I could, real quick, again, you see, like I hope this is making sense to people, like what's going on right now. Like you see how like the chain of command is like starting. They're at the top though. Remember that it's really the Egyptians at the top, but you see how like it trickles down. It's no different than, I hate making this comparison because Joseph was a righteous man, but I'll use it in a sense of, in today's society, which we've seen this a lot, you'll have someone that's of us, right? I don't even care what tribe, right? But I guess the easiest one to do, I guess, is like music, because that's the one that most people know about. You have this person who has a lot of money, right? Made it out the hood. We all know it's the same story over and over, right? But he really works for the white man.
Right.
Like a lot of y'all favorite rappers and stuff, those companies, those record labels that they are under are owned by white people, mostly Jewish people, actually. So you have them there, right? Now they're pushing out this music, whatever, right? Let's say now you got somebody in your crew, whatever. Now it's like, oh, can you get more people like you?
Right.
That's how they get you. Can you get more people like you?
Right.
So now, of course he's going to do that. Now he's going to go get more people up under him that can do the work just like him. You go to a job, same thing, right? And they do this all the time. You see it right here. He wants more people just like Joseph.
Right.
Why? Why am I even rambling about this mess? Because Joseph was a righteous man. Not just that he was a righteous man, he was hardworking.
Right.
And Pharaoh was able to benefit off of Joseph's hard work. Same way, like I think I brought it out last class. Laban, he wanted Jacob to stay.
Right.
Why?
Every time.
He wanted him to stay. He didn't want Jacob to leave. Why? Because Jacob did great work there, and Laban's land was benefiting off of Jacob's hard work. Right. But what happened? Jacob wanted to leave. Of course, we know why. Grown man now got his ribs and stuff, trying to go. Barnett wanted to leave to the point that he sent his own sons after him. And they had to sit there like, hey, look, I'm going. That's that. And hey, I respect it, right? Now imagine if Joseph said, you know what? I really run this. I could really bring my people here and we could really benefit off of this land. Guess what? Now that's a problem. Same way you go into like a lot of these neighborhoods, it's predominantly white people. When it's like one or two black people, they might not trip too much. Too many of y'all, now it's a problem.
Right.
So you see how like it's control. I'll just put it like that. It's control in a sense. I just hope that makes sense as we continue. You got anything?
Cool. I want to go back to activity. It's crazy because I did not even see that prior to this. What we was talking to prior to class started. Activity. You understand? I want to translate that to this work. I want to translate that to you who's watching class, you young men, you officers, you troopers. I want to translate that to you. He said, I'm reading again. And if thou knowest any men of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. Look, for you to be able to lead the sheep, to you to be able to feed the cattle, you must be what? Active. You must be doing work. You sitting on your behind, ain't getting nothing done, doesn't make sense to anyone. You will never get no power. You will never get no authority. You'll never get no rulership. You'll never be put in charge of anything. Why? Because you don't work hard. You're lazy. You don't do nothing. When we look around, we see you like, this brother don't do nothing. Okay, well, you won't be in charge of nothing. And if that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do it. By all means, be my guest. That's fine. I'm still gonna love you like a brother. But there are some brothers who want to work. There are some brothers who want to what? Make thine election sure. It'll be a crazy day if you're not trying to make your election sure. That's a crazy day for me. I want it. I want somebody to say, oh, I see that brother work. I want somebody to say, I see that brother doing the work. I want somebody to say, oh, that brother teaches class every week. Oh, he's active. I don't want nobody to question where I'm at. I want to rule over some cattle. I want this sheep. You got to translate that to what's going to be given to you in the kingdom. If you get a penny from the Lord, you do nothing with the penny, he's going to take that penny from you and give it to another brother who's going to actually work for the penny. He gives you the penny so you can double it so he can eat the food. So how is you going to get, think about the kingdom of heaven, man. Really translate it. Really think about what's happening. This world is coming to an end. These rulers and these people in high positions, high class of society, they're going to get pushed down to the bottom. So who's going to get to the top part of rulership? Us. The 144,000 men who came out here to serve Christ. You got to work for it. How do you want to run trade from Africa to Australia, Southern Africa to Australia? How do you want to run trade from I don't know, New Zealand to Switzerland? How do you want to run that zone? How do you want to run that area when you don't put in no work to do it? You're not gonna receive it. You might just get a house and only be able to run your family. If that, how about you just work? How about you be active? How about you show activity? So the same way that Joseph was blessed, how do you think Jacob even got the blessing? He worked for it. He fought for it.
Yeah, he really
really fought.
Yeah.
He really sat there and fought an angel who the angel's like, this dude is really fighting me. Now I got to do some cheapskate and snap his thigh so he can stop fighting me. He wanted it. You got to want it, man.
That's heavy too, because when you think about it, Jacob, literally everything that Jacob has, he worked for that.
He worked like
everything, like from
his wives.
Literally, that man served 7. Okay, it was supposed to be 7 years, which is already a crazy amount of time.
Crazy.
It really was 14. Come on, 14 years. And then he had to fight. For them. Then he had to fight to leave.
Come on, man. And then he got defeated. Oh
my God.
Wait till verse 9.
What
he's saying is gonna be, we're gonna reveal it in verse 9. We're gonna reveal you the life that Jacob had to live to get there.
Let's just continue.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But keep that in your mind, young officers, young troopers, young men who want to become troopers and officers. Be active. Always be active in the work. And brothers will notice, the Lord will notice, and next thing you know, you're going to be running some cattle, if I may. Verse 7. And Joseph brought in Jacob his father and set him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Look at that. Jacob blessed him. You got to really think about, okay, Joseph has done so much for Pharaoh. And Pharaoh has to look at Jacob like, or Yaquab or Yashala, or Israel has to look at him like, you his father.
Remember, he said, let me go back real quick. And if thou knowest any men of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. And then guess what happened? He brought his father. I mean, were we really surprised though?
Come on.
Is Jacob. He came from it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Pharaoh is probably, you have to think how in awe Pharaoh probably is, because you see what Joseph did his whole tenure there, reading dreams, sitting and saying, explaining what's happening. Like, this man came from this. You got to see how he's probably looking at Jacob like, you might be that dude. The God you serve that.
Because he saw the fruits of his of his labor in a sense indirectly, because he saw Joseph. No, that's your father.
Do it, man. And if I may, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh, Jacob gonna bless him twice. Before the conversation, after the conversation. Well, I'm getting too far ahead. But anyway, Jacob blessed him twice. And what happened to Egypt? Egypt was the what? Was the first superpower. You get that? Do you understand what's going on here? Jacob blessed them. Yaquab, Yashala, blessed them. Prince of the power. He blessed them. And Egypt turned into the #1 superpower in the world.
There's a reason why Pharaoh wanted war. That's what, like, I know we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. We'll go more into it when we get to Exodus. And
right.
I'll see more, but you see why he wanted more people like Joseph.
Right. Verse 8.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, verse 8. And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, how old art thou? I'm going to get into it. Let me get this Hebrew out the way. Verse 9. Wayamar, Yaquab, Al, Power I, Yum Yub, Shun Yub, Maga Magaria, Shalah, Shayum, Shalah Shayum, Wamath, Shana, Mayata, Wara Ayum, Hayawa, Yum Yub, Shun Yub, Kayaya, Wala'a, Hasha Yagwa, Hasha, Yagwa, Ath, Yum Yub, Shun Yub, Kayaya, Abathya, Bayum Yub, Maga Raya Hum, verse 10. Waya Barak, Yaquab, Ath, Para I, Waya Tazah, Malapanya, Para I, verse 11. Waya Washab, Yawasab, Ath, Abiyawab, Wa'ath, Akayawab, Wayathan, Lahum, Akaza, Ba'aratazah, Matazarayim, Matazarayim, Bama Yatab, Ha'aratazah, Ba'aratazah, Ra'i Masa, or Sasa, Kashar, Tazawah, Power I, verse 12, Waya Kakal, Yawasap, Ath, Abayawab, Wa'ath, Akayawab, Wa'ath, Kal, Bayath, Abayawab, Lacham, Lapunya, Lapaya, Salakia, Hotep, what is it? Hotep. In the 12. Last one. What is that? What's that long one that look like an umbrella? Oh, it's a pot. It's like right in 12. Her top, verse 13. Walacham, Ayan, Bakal, Haratazak, Kaya, Kabad, Harai, my duh, Watala, Ratazah, Matazarayim, Wa Ratazah, Kana'ain, Mapunya, Harai, verse 14, Waya La Quat, Yawasap, Ath, Kal, Hakasap, Hana, Matazah, Baratazah, Matazarayim, Waba Aratazah, Kana'ain, Bashabar, Ashar, Hum, Shabaryum, Wayaba'ah, Yawasap, Ath, Hakasap, Bayatah, Power I, verse 15, last verse. Wayathum, Hakasap, Waratazah, Matazarayim, Wama Aratazah, Kana'ain, Wayabawa, Kal, Matazarayim, Al, Yawasap, Lamar, Habalanwa, Lacham, Walama, Namarath, Nagadak, Kaya, Apasa, Apasa, Kasa. Excuse me. The book of Genesis, chapter 47, verse. Now I start 8 again. And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, how old art thou? Verse 9. And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. You and evil have the days of the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. Man, ask how Yaquab is. How old Yasha Ali is. Hey, man, I'm old. What is it, 130? 130. But it's few. And it's been evil. You gotta understand everything that happened to him.
Yeah, he's been through a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Now, there's two ways you can always look at life, and I want to break down his life to you so you can understand how you should look at life. And you should understand what happened at the end of his life, though. Think about it. Like the brother brought out, man. He brought out so heavily. This man was basically mistreated and cheated by his family member. That's his uncle. Told him, hey, man, I'm going to give you my youngest daughter, Rachel. I'm going to give you Rachel. In 7 years, you got to work hard labor. 7 years you work for. Ended up giving them Leia, the oldest one. Didn't want him to leave. Bust him down so hey, give me another 7 years, I'm going to give it to you. So now he worked 14 years for this man. Then when he wanted to leave, he wanted to take the goats and the sheep. He said, no, get these sheep and these goats. Don't take these. Anyway, he was cheated out of the goats and the things he was supposed to take with him. Mm-hmm. Ended up, the Lord said, all right, don't worry about it. I'm still going to give you the best of that. No different than they giving you the worst water in the ghetto. They're giving you the worst food products in the ghetto. They're giving you the worst conditions in the ghetto. But guess what? We still come out and be the best cooks, the best dancers, the best looking people on the planet Earth. These things are happening to Jacob. Rachel ended up dying. That's his first wife, the love of his life died. That's the one he loved the most. She ended up dying. Her son, who she had in old age, Joseph. Mm-hmm. Joseph, he thought was unalive by an animal.
Was dead this whole time.
Come around. His daughter was sexually assaulted. That's why Levi and Benjamin or Levi Simeon. Mm-hmm. Levi, was it? Was it Levi and Simeon? I think it was Levi and Simeon.
It was Levi and Simeon.
Went over there, didn't listen to their father, put the whole family in danger by unaliving all them Africans over there, or Hamites. What else happened to him? He thought they came back. What's the name was sitting in jail? I think Simeon was sitting in jail. Then they wanted to take Benjamin. He was like, man, y'all can kill this man too. So all this is happening to him. He's like, man, my life been short and few. And look, he never had a place to stay. He never had a home.
Yeah, like when you really look at like, if this makes sense, like what brother's bringing out to y'all. Yeah, he lived 130 years, but like you pretty much laid it all out. He been through so much. It's like he didn't have a time of rest. Like he just
always something.
Go. And you're right. Like he was just roaming around, like he trying to establish himself, but it's like he really didn't have any time to just sit down. So when you constantly going through some stuff, 130 years, that 130 years, like it's all I know. Like I'm old, but I've been on my feet forever.
Come on.
Like, and you really got to take that and correlate that to today. Like how, like we younger, of course. Like I don't know me personally, I don't want to live to 130.
Nah,
that's just me personally. Right. It's a lot of you. But my point being is, you ain't got no time to rest.
Right.
You want to know why? Like I'll be real with you. You want to know why we always want to go out and like party and stuff. Like have a carne asada. You wanna just chill. Like I know me. Like personally, when I'm home. Like that's it. You're not seeing me. Like I'm gonna take care of whatever I need to, whenever I get out of work, whatever. But once I'm there, I'm mentally like checked out. But everybody does that though. Why? It's because like you don't get no rest, man.
Right.
You either working for the white man, you caught up on bills, you got mouths to feed, you gotta take care of the family, you backed up on rent. Like even when you do got money, they still going through stuff too. It's like you literally are just working. And then in this country, they tell you they might change it. I think they were trying to change it to 70, but they tell you, you can't retire until you like 65. But then like let's be real, most of us don't even get to live that long. And then if you do, it's like do you really get to retire?
You don't. You still gonna work.
You still gotta work. So you just go. That was Jacob's life. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of good things came of that. Of
It
course,
did.
the 12 tribes. I mean, look at Joseph, But that's what he's explaining to Pharaoh right now, if that makes sense.
Look, he got rich. Jacob was rich.
Yeah.
Jacob was rich. To the point he had people working for him. Jacob was rich. He got 12 sons. He had 4 wives. He had a bunch of children, 12 children. Really, what, 11 really? 11. He had not including the daughters. He had daughters.
Because he didn't really have more.
Yeah. He had grandchildren. What else did he have?
He had a lot.
Oh, he got saved towards the end. But that's the point I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
The man went through all that. Went through all this stuff right here. Come to find out his son's still alive. All his kids are alive. Yeah, his wife passed away. That's okay. This is in his old age. This is an old age. And now he's now being saved. The whole place is in famine. Now his old age, he gets to see the fruit at the end. Now he gets to go to the land of Goshen. That at the end, he did all that, went through all those trials, went through all that tribulation, went through all that suffering. At least 4 times. I get you.
So like, I just want to see what the
He 100.
Yeah,
So I'm like, boy, I'm tired. I'm like, there's some things I want to tell you about my slave and things they be saying. I be like, bro, this is not motivation for me. Well, I'll tell you at a later day. I don't want to get up too on top. But this man has been through trials and tribulations. Matter of fact, give me Hebrews 11. I'm saying get me, like I'm not gonna go get it. You know, I had some cat on myself. Hebrews 11. The book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse. Let's start at I'm gonna start at verse 9. Matter of fact, verse 8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out not knowing whither he went. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which has foundations, whose builder and maker is God. Verse 11. Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. Verse 12. Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky multitude, and as the sand which is by the seashore innumerable. Verse 13. This is what I want to get to. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. This man walked his whole life knowing he was going to be a stranger and a pilgrim. Why? Because you are strange to this land. You know why you're strange to this land? Because you're not supposed to be living in this filthy place. Your land's supposed to be righteous. Jacob has went his whole life. Yaquah went his whole life. Yashala went his whole life looking for a good, righteous land, for a place that he can build, a place for his own. And he died before he could get any of that. But before he died, he got a little glimpse of what the kingdom could look like. Right. The land of Goshen. The land of Goshen was the only land around here that was that good. Right off the water. Nothing but cattle, all his grandchildren run around, all his children, his 3 wives were still around him. Everything he needed was right there. That's what you do it for. Yeah, I know it feel like, man, we should keep going and going and going and going and going. Still have to work after 65, whatever you make over what they allow you. They charge you $2 on every dollar over. Yes, the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of.
That's crazy.
My grandma died at 73. She stopped working at 71. What are we talking about here?
2 years.
What? 2 years.
Like,
and we're struggling in them 2 years.
That's really sad. Like when you really think about it, like it's really crazy. Like this is not your, like what we bringing out to, like this is not your rest. But like what you bringing out, which is heavy, like yeah, I'll put it like this because I know we kind of not getting off topic, but I don't want to take too much time going over it. We've been fighting forever.
Forever.
We always have been fighting and persevering forever. Ain't nothing new. What's going on right now in America and in Haiti going through it. Puerto Rico, they getting messed up over there. Y'all should read up on that. Ephraim, they getting recolonized, which is crazy. It's just so much. It's so much I want to talk about. But my point being is Jacob kept going. He kept going. And yeah, maybe he didn't get like that land like for himself necessarily, because he's older.
Right.
But his sons, his wives, grandkids, like they got a piece of that for a time. Like, things change and stuff, in the Exodus, but they got a piece of that. Joseph was separated from him throughout this entire time. And now look how everything spun back around. You thought your son died. You done been through so much. And now here it is. Your long lost son is the one saving you. That's crazy. Your son, who you thought was dead, you get to see him in all his glory. And now he's saving you. Your child is saving you now. That's why we always tell you, don't just do it for you. Don't serve the Most High for you. Serve it for everyone, for your friends, your family, everyone, because you just never know how things are going to come back around in your favor. You don't know. And also, one more thing, I don't even got to go to the precept, because we brought it out last time, Ecclesiastes 12:13, going over the whole duty of man. Despite everything they've been through, Jacob, yeah, he been through it. Abraham, he been through it.
Right.
Joseph, he been through it. Like a lot of brothers, ancestors, they've been through it. But the ones that made their election sure all the way and still serve God all the way, they were rewarded. That's all I got.
This heavy. Joseph's life is heavy. You should look at Joseph's life and compare it to yours. You should look at Job's life compared to yours. You should read these. You should read what's going on with these brothers and these sisters. Like, all right, this is going on. And the Lord always saves them.
Yep.
The Lord, no matter what a brother going through, no matter what a sister going through, it seems like the worst conditions ever. The Lord always comes through. You should take notice of that when you going through something you're complaining. It's okay. Complain to yourself. I don't want to hear it because I know you're gonna get them. Just keep the promises in your head. Keep serving the Lord. Anyway, and have not attended unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers and the days of their pilgrimage. Verse 10. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. Blessed him again. Verse 11. And Joseph placed his father and his brethren and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, and the land of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had commanded. Verse 12. And Joseph nourished his father and his brethren to all his father's household with bread according to their families. Verse 13. And there was no bread in all the land. Now this is how you start to get into wittiness and money management and business-wise. If you grew up where I grew up at and you ever heard of drought season, then you can understand what's going on now. This is why you store. This is why you save. This is why you start to flex. Because when the people need it, you should be able to give it to them. Any brother grew up in the street, you probably know. I'm gonna say this, in wickedness, if you got a drug dealing family member, he understands about drought time. This is why you will buy up your loads. This is why you buy up your grains and your rice. This is why you buy up these things. So when the people need to come get it, you're the only one that got it and you can give it to them. We're gonna see how business management is already in the Bible. You want to run a business, go watch what Joseph just did. Go read this, go pay attention. You want to be a manager of tough times, be able to manage yourself in these predicaments and these times that are coming up. You might want to pay attention to what Joseph did. You might want to start storing things, if I may. Verse 11. Oh no, what was it? Verse 13. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. Mind you, who is the only person who has bread, who has rice? Joseph. He's the only person who got corn, who has food for the people. He stored it away. Right? Verse 14. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. Again, Pharaoh like, okay, this is some good money over there. Verse 15. How good is, but now I want you to think, how good is money when there is no food? What is the value of $1, really? It's going to get back to guns and bucks. Eventually, you're going to realize what's going on. All these sayings we say, there's nothing new. Mm-hmm. It's all old. Christ was fed butter and honey, guns and butter. These are things you're gonna realize, right? Verse 15. And when money failed in the land of Egypt, I'll read it again. And when money failed in the land of Egypt, again, we live in Egypt right now. And in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread. For why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth.
If I could, come on, quick. Since we talk about money, this is an excellent point. Like, I don't know, like I watch the news every now and then. I really don't. I watch it. Yeah, that's really what it is. That's what my point is. You see, like, they be having shortages.
Well, yeah.
I think recently there was one at a Costco, and they got there's no eggs. Like, none. There's an egg shortage. There's always like a shortage of something, right? My point being is, you see what's going on now. People want to store everything. It really does boil down to, okay, well, what good is that little piece of green paper that got a dead white man? How much is it worth, really? There are people like, one of the biggest, like, there's a lot of sins in this, but the main sin that I want to focus on the most is greed.
Right.
A lot of these like big corporations run by Esau and stuff, they get all this money off of greed, and they will unalive their own family members for some money. They're carnal. Like, they serve money. You shouldn't be like that. Because guess what? At any given point, you never know. Natural disaster can happen like that. Right? There's fires all up and down California right now. Apparently it was like some arsonist. They got one of the dudes, but I'm just like, the Lord probably put a spirit on him to just go out and just burn stuff.
Right. Because
California is wicked as hell. So I get it. But my point being is, you never know what's going to happen. Y'all want to, I'm not saying like don't have a job and like, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, don't sit here and serve money.
Right.
Because at any given point, that dollar might not mean nothing. They're already trying to abolish it in like what is it, BRICS?
Yeah.
They're already like devaluing the American dollar in all these other countries. It don't mean nothing, right? It's paper. It's literally just paper. Right here, like you just brought out earlier, they at one point money was ruling everything. Now it's like, what good is the money now? We hungry.
We ain't got no food.
We have no food. What am I gonna do with this? You could be the richest man on the planet. You ain't got no damn food. What are you gonna do?
He gave them money. And they said, what I need this money? I can't eat this money.
You can't eat money. You can't do nothing with it. They need food. They need supply. That's what they need.
Right.
But going back to what you were talking about with Joseph, again, it's a good business move. All the supplies are gone, and now it's famine. You're the only person. Again, Joseph. Them and this family, like, they good.
We good.
Think about it. All the Egyptians in Egypt are suffering, except for the Hebrews,
who are in the best land, Ramses, Goshen.
Come on.
What do you think is?
See, like, it all
ties in, man. Do you understand? Even think about America. When we talk about greed, every 30 days for America not to go in recession, they have to have a splurge of spending. So why do you think there's a holiday pretty much every month? Think about it. There's a holiday every single month. If there's not a holiday, if it's not a holiday, it's some type of holiday. It's some type of small thing. It's every month. They need you to spend your money. Mm-hmm. All you doing, here's what they're doing. They're giving you the money. No, you're gonna give it back anyway. Mm-hmm. It's just one big old circle, and you just involved in it. And what would you do? You're gonna go have sex with somebody for it. You're gonna go for nothing.
No, for real.
You're gonna go sell drugs for money for nothing. You're doing all this for nothing. You're gonna cheat on your husband because another dude got more nothing than him. Yeah, you stupid. You stupid. And now what are you left with? Nothing. A broken family. Hey, come on, can we stop? Can we stop? For real? Can we please grow up, man?
Like,
It's in the Bible. I'm reading. I'm not making this up. It's not tough talk. It's not work. We're reading it right out of the Bible. All you gotta do is see it. See what it's saying. Don't just look at it like that's why I be trying to hit you inside your head every week. Don't just look at it like it's just words in a book. No, these meaning is powerful. This is life. This is everything you ever needed in your life is right here.
Yeah, don't give your life money. Like you want to know who does that? Heathens. Like not to get too off topic as we will continue. This reminds me. I remember like the whole Stop Asian Hate thing, and I remember it's like over with now, but there was like a group of Asians. I don't know for which one. I don't know, but they were trying to. This has been a thing. They want to be white, like real bad. They wanted to get into more like white colleges, so they actually went against affirmative action, which was made for black people. They wanted to be done with it. So some black people was kind of telling them like, "Hey, yeah, y'all think y'all about to get into the college? You're not about to get into the college, but you know, heathens gonna be heathens." I'd sit back and watch because in the truth, we already know like those aren't our people anyway. So go do what you want. Well, they ended up getting rid of the affirmative action, right? At least for wherever they were. So they did. They served these white people. They did everything that they told them to do. So now they're like, oh, now we're gonna, get into these colleges. You want to know what happened? When it came time, white people got more white people in the colleges, and the Asians were kind of sitting there like, well, what happened? We did what you told us to do. Why can't we get in here now?
Right.
That's because you want to know why? Because white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, and he played you. He played all them Asians. Like, you know what? Yeah, we're going to use you to get to harm black people so that they can't get up. And then once you're done, we're still going to get our people. That's what they did. It's just greed. That's all it is. They thought that they had something.
Right.
And the thing is, the reason why I'm bringing that up is time and time again, black people we understand like our only allies are our northern tribe brothers and sisters. Israel, us, we're our own allies. Everybody else, I don't care if they got a little bit of melanin. You can be darker than me. I don't care.
Right.
I don't mean nothing. You're not us. You are not our people.
Right.
But the thing, you need to understand that because they don't serve the Most High. They'll give themselves up for money because it's happened multiple times. What happened all throughout history? Any type of potential person of color community that we've tried to side with has done us dirty.
Right.
For money.
Every time.
That's all it is, right? So just keep that in mind. Don't serve money, man. Those were heathens. Don't do that. And like, I'm glad you brought that up. Like, y'all be having sex for money, for nothing. You will give up your body and risk an STD for money that you ain't even gonna keep, and you brothers out there buying them. You gonna risk the same thing,
right?
And then what you gonna do with the money? You already irresponsible because you paying for sex,
right?
What you gonna do with the money? You gonna pay your rent?
Buy some shoes.
You
don't go buy you some $300 shoes. Need groceries.
You spending however $150 or whatever to have for what 5 minutes,
dude.
That's really crazy.
maybe 11 on a good day. Maybe 11 minutes on a good day.
Like, it's not funny, but it's like when you really think about it, it's really funny.
You can pay this girl $200, $300, 5 minutes worth. 5 minutes, bro. And now you're hungry. You're like, dang, I need to pay my car note. I need gas.
You could have put that money to anything.
Anything. You could have invested that in something. You could have bought some penny stocks. I don't know. You could have did anything. Rims and sound system. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna buy some rims and some sound systems and go put a prostitute and go have sex with a prostitute in the car.
You're gonna soup up your little 1995 Honda Civic.
Then you gonna Then once you get caught having sex with the prostitute in the car with the rims and sound system, they're gonna tow that car. You're gonna be thrown in that jail. Now everybody around you knows you buy prostitutes, and you ain't gonna be able to get that car out of that impound. And then they're gonna sell that car at the impound lot. Yep. And some other brother gonna be riding around. You know what that brother gonna do because he's a sinner. He's gonna go get that same prostitute. Now all y'all in jail, mind and say, come on, man. We're trying to help you.
No, for real.
I'm trying to help you. I know it's funny, but I'm trying to help you.
Oh my gosh.
But I've seen it. I've seen it literally. So we're gonna do the Hebrew verses 16 through 22. Yamar, Yawasap, Habawa, Makwana, Yakum, Wathana, Lakum, Bama Quanikum, Ama, Apasap, Salaki, Apas, Kasap, verse 17, Bayawa, Makwana, Yahum, Al, Yawasap, Wayathan, Lahum, Yawasap, Lachum, Basawa, Sayum, Waba, Maikwana, Hatazan, Waba, Maikwana, Habakwar, Waba Kama Rayum, Waba Aquarium, Waya Nahalam, Balakama, Bakal, Makwanahum, Bashana, Haha verse 18, Watathum, Hashana, Haha Waya Ba'awa, Al Yawa, Bashana, Hashanayath, Waya Marwa, Lawa, La'a, Naka'ad, Ma'a, Danya, Kaya, Ama, Thumb, Hakasap, Wama Kwana, Haba Hama, Al, Adanya, La'a, Nasha'ar, Lapunya, Adanya, Balakya, Ama, Gawa Yatanwa, Wa'ada, Matanwa, verse 19, Lama, Namawat, La'ai, Yan Yak, Gum, Ana, Kanwa, Gum, Ada Matanwa, Kwana, Atanwa, Wa'at, Ada Matanwa, Balacham, Wana, Haya, Slaga, Wana Haya, Ana, Kanwa, wow. Wa'a, Dama Tanwa, Abadayam, Laparya, Watan, Zara'ai, Wana, Slaga, Wanaya, Wala'a, Namawat, Waha, Adama, La'a, Dasham, verse 20, Wayakwan, Yawasap, Atkal, Adamath, Amatazarayam, Matazarayam, Salakia, Laparai, Kayub, Makarawa, Matazarium, Ayash, Shadawa, Kayub, Kazak, Alhum, Hara'ai, Watayub, Haratazah, Lakura, verse 21, Wa'atha, Ha'ain, Ha'ai, Habayawab, Atwa, Larayum, Makwatazah, Gabawal, Matazarium, Wa'aid, Kwatazawa, verse 22, last verse, Rakwa, Adamat, Haka, Kahanyum, La'a, Kwana, Kaya, Kakwa, Laka, Hanyum, Ma'at, Para'ai, Wa'akal Yub, At, Hakwam, Ashar, Nathan, Lahum, Para'ai, Al, Kaya, Salaki Khan, La'a, Makarawa, Adamathum. Okay, the book of Genesis, chapter 47, verse 16 through 22. And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fails. Meaning, all right, I'm going to mortgage what you got to give me. You want to live, all right, I want your cattle. You want this, we're going to make a trade. but I'm going to mortgage it. I want to take it, and you're going to have to come to me and give me your cattle before I give you my bread, before I give you this food for you to live. So I want this, right? You want this house. All right, that's cool. I give you this house, but you're going to have to consistently pay me what you got to give me. You're going to have to consistently give me your cattle, right? This is the blessing that Jacob bestowed upon Pharaoh. Egypt was not Egypt yet at this time. Egypt is now about to get to Egypt, about to be the world superpower. You're going to see how a superpower takes over. You're going to see how a certain land gets to be called the world superpower, how these certain people or certain nation becomes a superpower, right? And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money failed. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses, and he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. My Lord also have our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our lands. Hey man, we ain't got nothing to give you, Joseph. We got nothing else to give you. You got all our food, you got all our cattle, you got our horses, you got our donkeys, you got our herds of sheep, you have everything that we had. Only thing we got left is our bodies and our land. Now you're going to see how Egypt became so great. Egypt only became great. Why? Because Israelites were there. Why do you think? Why? There was something I seen it a while ago, but I just saw it again. It's one of them little countries in Africa said black people can come home. By black people, they're talking about African Americans. You know why they want us over there? Because they know we'll build it up.
Oh, they said that too. I know they were talking about. I think it was like a year.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's like again, because here you call different names, like they said Afro-American,
right?
American, African American, all that stuff, right? But my whole point is, if Africans were really our people, right? Like, I don't care about no skin color. If they were really our people, it's like you could have fought if we're really them. You could have fought for us this whole time.
Right.
I know they getting oppressed too. They getting chains and stuff over there too. You could have fought. But now that you see the work, right, that Black Americans are so famous for, like, and I'm talking about everything, not just entertainment and stuff, just like the resilience, the history, everything.
Air conditioners.
Now, oh yeah, the inventions, which Black people don't get credit for. Now you want Black people from America. People haven't said strictly America.
Yes.
They ain't saying like, oh yeah, Haitians come over.
None of that.
They ain't say all the Afro Latinos like up in South America. They didn't say come on. No, they said specifically just the ones here.
Right.
Y'all can come back because of your work, not because we're brothers.
Right.
No, because of your work.
That's it.
And Africa is, sorry for my language, in a shithole right now.
That's perfect. I did not know you were gonna say that, and that's what I was thinking.
Like that's what's going on right now. Like it's all types of crazy stuff. Like half the stuff that we got, I'm being real with you. Like the continent of Africa is like one of the richest continents in the world because of their resources. But you know how white men is. Get them for their resources. That's why they're so poor over there in most of their countries. Some of them are a little bit more westernized, but for the most part, they rob.
Right.
They've been robbing ham for forever. But again, they know how great America is because of Israelites.
Literally.
That's all. That's talking about like not even just like North America. I'm talking about the Americas. I'm talking about like the whole Western Hemisphere. Everything, right?
Right.
Right now, Haiti, they still fighting because the French still want what they have. They still want them. I'm finding that what is it? Portugal still has ties to Brazil. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
You see the control though, but
right.
Like how you brought out, like the only reason that Egypt became great, we're reading it. This is the beginning. This is Joseph. Joseph was so righteous. Jacob was so righteous. These are Hebrew Israelite men, and this is the start.
If I may, DeAndre made a great point. Those Asians are in Africa like locusts. They are eating the hell out of Africa.
Oh yeah,
because that's what they do. They went over there and got them. They thought them Asians was gonna help them build stuff. Asians took ownership of all that stuff. So everything over there is basically Asian. Africa is not Asian at this point. China, they colonize. That's what they're supposed to do. So this new brother, Michael W. Potts, who is that picture of on the wall behind y'all? That is a depiction of Christ. You can read that in Revelation, the 1st chapter, verses 13 through 15. He had this is a green girdle, a green outfit that he got on, a golden girdle around the paps. This is Christ. Not the Jesus Christ that they show you in the Christian church.
Yeah, I don't see the boy Jesus.
Some white guy. I'm glad you're here. Some white guy that looks like Kenny G. I'm not. The point. This not to get up too off topic because we do have a class. Color matters. Color matters. If color did not matter, and white people say this all the time when we tell them Jesus Christ is black, why does it matter? Well, you should say that to the people who change the color of Christ. You know why it matters? Because later on in the future, when you have, let's say you got a grandfather, and then 200, 300, 400 years later, they change the color and nation of your grandfather to some Caucasian. Your grandfather was the greatest man ever walked this earth. He's done great things, amazing things, and they make him look like somebody else. Yeah, that's stolen identity. That is fraud, and you deserve to go to prison for that. Yeah, that is a blue collar crime or white collar crime. Yeah, you got to go to prison for that. That is what that is. All right. What was it? Okay. 17. 18.
Yeah. 18.
I just finished. Okay, 19. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh. This is how Egypt became Egypt, right? Because of Joseph's intelligence. Pharaoh said, hey, look, this is the wisest man I got around here. He ain't the strongest. He ain't the greatest. He's the wisest man I got around here. He knows how to maneuver. So Joseph was like, hey, I'm going to store up everything. You had this dream, and you don't understand what's happening in this dream. 7 years is going to be fruitful. But another 7 years after that, the land is going into a famine. The Lord is telling you this because now what we're going to do, we're going to stack up. We're going to rack up. We're going to have all grains, rice, all that. We're going to have it here. So by the time them 7 years come, people are going to need it. People are going to need what we have to give them, and we're going to buy them then. You see how long this took? This took time. This is year 9. You remember, 7 years had already went by of great blessings. Now this is the second year going on to year 9. This is the second year of the drought. So now you're starting to see what's going on around here. Now that took time. They don't come up. You don't get to run anything overnight. It takes time to rule someplace. Well, now this is what you're seeing. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them, so the land became Pharaoh's. This is how you win it. This is intelligent. We're gonna buy up the blocks.
And it really is like something that happens today. Like what just happened was, like you said, like it was a business, right?
Right.
So they needed food. They didn't have no food. There was a famine. So they don't have, put it like this, they don't have resources. They don't have resources to sustain their way of life or any life for that matter. However, this water. So now you have this man, Joseph. He has his family, and he's under this very powerful man. They have these resources. Now you start trying to pretty much make a deal with them. What can we do to get this food and these resources for our families? We have nothing else to give. Well, you do have something to give. You can give yourself and your services. Right. Don't y'all think that's not what's happening? I don't know, today. Come on. Think about it. Why you think, I talked about it last night, why you think North America wants, like they try to lie to you because they control the media. They try to make it seem like, oh, Latinos are illegal immigrants and they're stealing all the jobs and da 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 da. No. Those who know, they want Latinos here. They want them here.
Right.
Why? Because America, in their eyes, can provide this way of life.
Right.
And now you have all these brothers and sisters who are coming from these Southern American countries or Central American countries, and they might have it like bad where they're at necessarily, right? Now they want to come here. Oh, they're being sold the American dream. I want to provide a good life for my family. Okay, I don't have much to give, but I can work hard.
Right.
Okay, do that. Because we could use your services.
Right.
So America will talk smack about Mexicans all day. They'll talk smack about Venezuelans and Puerto Ricans and all the other Latinos, right? But then guess what? You still take trips out to Puerto Rico.
Right.
Puerto Rico is now U.S. territory. For those of y'all like,
did not know.
Yeah, Puerto Rico has been U.S. territory for like a while now. Mexicans coming over here and they outworking everybody. And y'all complaining about it, but the thing is, those in high places, they want that because they know that Isupk is going to work hard and they don't got to pay them much.
Right.
They know that they can do that. Even right now, with the fires that are going on in California, guess who decided to fight against the fires? It was Mexicans. Mexicans decided to gather together and fight against the fires because guess what? California wasn't doing a good enough job. Oh, and on top of that, again, to show the greed of the white man, the insurance companies that were supposed to aid all the people that lost their houses, guess what? They didn't do that. That's how you know insurance is a scam. I was just talking about this with my rig. You've been paying X amount of dollars for all these months to this insurance company. And now it's finally time for the insurance company to do their freaking job. And it's like, oh, well, there's so many people. We don't have. So guess who came in? Isupk came in,
right.
And they're fighting the fires, doing the work that America should have done. And guess what? They're not going to get a congratulations. They're not going to get a oh thank you. They're not going to get millions of dollars of money. They're not going to get it. You might get a pat on the back. Come on, that's about it. But you see, again, this country is, I guess you could say, great because we're here.
21. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt, even to the other end thereof. Only the land of the priests bought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them. Wherefore they sold not their land. Crazy. All right. For time's sake, we're gonna do the rest in English. I know some of y'all happy. I don't worry though. I don't know what. It don't seem like we've been talking that much. For it to be at this point. We like what we do. Activity. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't work for me. I like doing this. I like waking up on a Saturday and teaching you. And the water for tuning in, everybody. Verse 23. Then Joseph said unto the people, behold, I have bought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and ye shall sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the increase that ye should give the fifth part unto Pharaoh. I need 20% interest. Not 10.
Sorry, not interest.
I need, what is that called? Tax? Is it tax?
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah. I need 20% of what you get. I need 20. You know why I need 20? Because y'all are so down bad right now. I'm going to take 20% of what you make. California taking 30. I'm being real. 30 to 35% of your money is going to California and the states. The state tax and federal tax, and
it's ridiculous.
It's crazy, and we all live here, so we know.
Yeah, ever look at y'all pay stubs, like with the money you're supposed to get, and then you see all the taxes.
I don't be like looking at my pay stub no more.
I stopped looking
because I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go do something I should not do.
And you know what's even crazy? Like the more money you make, the more you go into a new tax bracket.
And they take more money. Yeah, I quit. It's like, damn, dude, it's cheaper to be poor. And it's cheaper to just die. This place is just, let me tell y'all something.
Even that, it costs money to die.
It costs,
You need life insurance.
Dude, it costs money to buy medication to keep you alive. This place is crazy. I don't know what to do. You're just gonna always be poor. This place is just not designed for longevity of life. You got to be wicked, bro. That's why you got so many people scamming and stealing and thieving. How else is they going? You can't be mad at the product. You made the product. That's what's wrong with America. If not to get off too off topic, I know I'm gonna run through it. They hate black people so much. They hate Hispanics so much, but you put them brothers and sisters in that condition to do those things. I shouldn't have to deal drugs. You hate drug dealers, but you're forcing me to deal drugs.
White man is the master of gas.
Come on, man. Master of it. Verse 4. And it shall come to pass in the increase that ye shall give the 5th part unto Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be your own, for seed of the field and for your food, and for them of your households, and for food for your little ones. And they said, Thou hast saved our lives. Let us find grace in the sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants. And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt unto this day, that Pharaoh should have the 5th part, except the land of the priests only, which become not Pharaoh's. And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the whole age of Jacob was 147 years. And the time drew nigh that Israel must die. And he called his son Joseph and said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray thee, in Egypt. This is what you're going to have to do. You're going to realize power is going to be passed to your son. How does power get passed to your son? First, you got to get power. So how do you get power? Let's go back. Genesis 47 and what I want. Verse 6. And if thou knowest any man of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. The only way you get power and rulership and some type of authority is work. Activity, people. I'm trying to drill this in your head. I hope it works. I hope it make any sense, bro. Good grief. This man now saying, hey, my time over. My life's over. It's okay. You got power now. I'm glad you got power. Because the only reason why you got power is because the Lord was with you. The reason why the Lord is with you is because I serve the Lord. The Lord is with me, now the Lord is with you. He gonna let you be the stalk that carries over all your brethren. And your brethren now is gonna look at you. Remember, we read there, I'm forgetting Genesis 40 something. We read that. And it came true. So what the Lord says is gonna happen, happens. Right, man. And Israel, so like verse 30. 29. And the time drew nigh that Israel must die, and he called his son Joseph and said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray thee, in Egypt, but I will lie with my fathers, and thou shalt carry me out of Egypt, and bury me in their burying place. And he said, I will do as thou hast said. And he said, Swear unto me. And he swore unto him, and Israel bowed himself upon the bed's head. Chapter 48, verses 1, we're gonna stop at 19. And it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, Behold, thy father is sick. And he took with him his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. This is how Manasseh and Ephraim got brought into the fold of being the 12 tribes of Israel because of this right here. Verse 2. And one told Jacob and said, Behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee. And Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said unto Joseph, God Almighty appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me. And said unto me, Behold, I will make thee fruitful and multiply thee, and I will make of thee a multitude of people, and will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession. And now thy 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine. They mine. Yeah, your children, they're gonna be mine. But I'm gonna treat them like this. As Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. I'm gonna treat them. I'm gonna treat them excellent. They're gonna be like my children.
if I could, real
Yes,
quick,
sir.
just to go back again, like how the power was passed on. Some people, which I'm pretty sure like a lot of people have, we talk about 12 tribes, right? You rewind like you know, earlier in Genesis, you really only hear of like the other 10.
Right.
So some people might ask, like, well, where's Ephraim and Manasseh? Well, here we go. You know, they came a little later. You know, and these are these are Joseph's two sons. No,
What? Manasseh?
Manasseh and Ephraim.
Yeah, that's Joseph's two
Yeah,
sons that he got in
right.
Egypt with. Salaki, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Mind you, and this is the argument. This is how you cut that argument about both parents got to be Israelites. Who do you think Joseph married? He didn't marry an Israelite. He was in Egypt. He had sex with an Egyptian. Guess what? Those children are considered what? Israelites. These are the patriarchs. What do you think Moses' children?
And that's what kills me every time. Like, we don't just make this stuff up. Like, I've seen people in the like out in the world, people try to make up their own stuff. They try to say that the reason why we say that you can that the baby will still be an Israelite even if the mother is from another nation is because deep down inside they still want to sleep with heathen women. No. Maybe them fake Israelite cats want to do that mess. They do that mess. And here we are going to tell you, like, yeah, they are still Israelites. However, we not doing that. Get you an Israelite woman, right, or women, if you want multiple wives. Do that. Get you a sister. Don't do what our ancestors used to do because we read later on what happened. Because you know, we talk about it all the time. Solomon, he got a little too happy. And he lost the kingdom. Was it Samson? Samson, we already know that, you know, the Philistinian woman, I don't know what that woman was doing to him, but that man was tripping. And, you know, big strong man, he ended up getting jumped. He took them with him, but he died. So point being is that you look at how the 12 tribes were made, you got to think, man, every single brother got with a heathen woman. That's how, like, when you really think about it. Because think about it. How could Ephraim get with another Ephraimite?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. He's Ephraim. That's Manasseh right there. He can't, Judah couldn't get with another Judite. There's not another Judah.
Come on.
So that's how, like, it's just being real. That's why I think we all look different. Israel don't even look the same.
They don't get.
We don't even like Salaki. I don't want to get too off topic, but my point being is, here you go. This is how it started, right? But we just don't do this no more. This is so all y'all out there, brothers, sisters, especially sisters, because you'll cut off your holding.
Right.
Brothers, do not get with a heathen woman. There's enough of us, okay? There's 12 whole tribes. We in all these different countries. We got sisters of all shapes and sizes. Just get you one. Right. 2 or 3, whatever. Like,
if I may, just to prove what we're saying, that's why, and this is the difference between us and the Christian church. You go in there, and I don't even know if you're allowed to even raise your hand in there and ask a question. I've never seen somebody ask a question in a Christian church.
I don't even know. Oh yeah, I don't think
you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
It's like it's shunned upon you. Hey, I don't know. I don't understand what you're saying.
You know what it is because you interrupted the
You
concert.
you interrupted this pre-planned concert.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When we have class and we got brothers in here, I don't know what's about to get asked. I have no idea. I pray it's on topic because I studied the topic. It's on topic. I don't know. But guess what? I'm going to answer the question if I know the answer. You ain't going to get that in the Christian church. But now back to my point to prove what I was saying to you about a child born of from a woman from another nation does not make that child an Israelite. What you going to prove? Book of Genesis chapter 41, verse 45. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zephnath Pa'ine, and he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. On is a city in ancient Egypt. That's the Hebrew name for a city. They say the city Heliopolis or Heliopolis. So how did he didn't have another wife? Not that I saw. So how did Ephraim and Manasseh become heirs to Israel?
Daddy Israelite.
Do I have to explain it anymore?
I mean, come on, man. I feel like this is like such a redundant like topic. Sadly, we still got to go over it because people are going to challenge y'all.
Right.
They are like, yes, Manasseh and Ephraim's mom was an Egyptian. Guess what? Does not matter.
Come on.
We was in Egypt. We were in like
what do you think?
Well, like there's no like when you really think about it, how did the 12 tribes come about? Yes, they slept with heathen women. There was no other women.
We weren't. I don't think they understand that. It's like they don't understand life cycles. We were the last nation ever made. Us and Esau. We were the last nations. We're the last nation. No, all the other nations was already made.
Yeah.
They were made.
There was enough of them. So they could they didn't have to sit there and like, you know what I'm saying? Because the only other way is if it was just straight incest. And no, we wasn't doing it.
Come on, man.
But now, again, present day, there's enough of us.
Right.
Okay. Don't do that weird stuff.
Where was it? It's like 40? Yeah. And now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. And thy issue is like your offspring, the things that come out of you that make a baby. If do I have to say it? I should not have to say it. Matter of fact, it is in the blue letter Bible. But and thy issue, which thou begettest after them, shall be thine, and shall be called after the name of their brethren in their inheritance. How do they get an inheritance? Why? Because they are Israelites. Damn. Verse 7. And as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way, when yet there was but a little way to come into Ephrath. And I buried her there in the way of Ephrath, the same is Bethlehem. Wow. Before Bethlehem was even Bethlehem, that was Bethlehem. Come on. And Israel beheld Joseph's sons and said, who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, they are my sons, whom God hath given me in this place. And he said, bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them and embraced them. Kiss does not mean kissing. Come on. Yeah. 11. Shame we got to explain this stuff. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, God hath showed me also thy seed. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near to him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life long unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. And he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. Keep going. Yes, sir. And Joseph said unto his father, not so, my father, for this is the firstborn, put thy right hand upon his head. Verse 19, last verse. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son. I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations.
Okay, so this is like very similar to what happened with Jacob and Esau. Like, usually, again, when you give an inheritance, it usually goes to the eldest. They both got blessed, but Ephraim, how do I say this? Jacob saw something in Ephraim that, like, okay, you know what, he's he's gonna be a little greater than him. He's gonna be great too, but he's gonna be a little greater. And you actually see that later on because who was in charge of the northern kingdom? It was Ephraim. Like Ephraim is to the northern kingdom what Judah is to the southern kingdom. Like, and you still see it today. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, who I'll say, like, out of the two, like southern tribes and northern tribes, who's like the most like famous? Like Judah has always kind of been like pushing the forefront. Is Judah the oldest? No. Ephraim was the younger brother. But you hear a lot about Puerto Ricans. You do. You hear a lot about them because they've always kind of been the head of their tribes. So just, kind of give that, even his name, Ephraim, I think means to be fruitful.
Yes.
So that's just kind of how that was. That's how that came about. But also, real quick before we end the class, to kind of touch on that's what I was bringing up earlier. Manasseh and Ephraim are the grandchildren of Jacob.
Right.
They weren't directly like the brothers of the rest of the 10 tribes.
Right.
But they were they're still of the 12 tribes. Why? Because of course we know Jacob was righteous. This is great. But why did they get blessed? Because Joseph was just that guy. He was so righteous that you know what? Your two sons are also gonna get blessed.
Come on, man.
You see how it like everything just comes full circle. Like when you read about this, like from him losing Joseph, Joseph coming back, and he could have been mad at his brothers. He had every right to be, but he still saved them. Come on, saved them, and then still saved his father. Because guess what? He could have been bitter, he could have been vengeful, and he could have did something crazy. We might have read something else where he might have killed his brothers. And guess what? There probably would be no Ephraim and Manasseh because the Lord might have looked at him like, he vengeful. He vengeful.
No Israel.
Come on. Could have been.
Do you understand how small
something
turns something so huge?
Everything just comes back. If Abraham wasn't righteous, probably wouldn't have got Isaac. If Isaac wasn't righteous, wouldn't have got Jacob.
If Seth wasn't righteous, imagine if Seth was Ham. Do you understand what you do affects every generation after you? Think about your lineage. When you want to go out there and go have sex with that prostitute, you want to go smoke weed, you want to go do heroin or whatever type of drug, fentanyl. Think about how that's gonna affect your children.
Yeah, you don't think about that at the moment. You just want to get whatever it is, your little fix, whatever, drugs, sex, whatever. Then you have kids, and then guess what? Your kids be destroyed as hell.
All because of you. All because it matters. Yep. What you do matters. If you're righteous, I wanted to share. I'm not gonna share it, but Nasdaq told me a couple weeks ago about his son, and I was just so delighted and so happy. I ain't gonna tell y'all, but just know a righteous father, his righteousness will get passed down. It will get passed down. And you're gonna be like, wow, that one, right? That is how great this school is. When you start to understand what the Bible truly is, that's why he tells us when we do our holy days and we read Leviticus 23, he say make this a memorial for all generations. Pass it down to your children for all generations. Why? So they'll never forget. So they'll always keep the law. So they'll always keep the statute. You know why? Because if you keep them and give them your children, they're gonna keep them. And then what they're gonna do? They're gonna give it to their children. They're gonna keep them. They're gonna give them to their children. And then guess what? I say it every week. You're gonna come back and they're gonna give it back to you. And then guess what? You're gonna give it back to them. It just keeps going on. Tell them. All right. So basically, not just like I'm gonna give you the whole gist. Anyway, Natazak's son, who we all love. Man, that's my man's man. He comes over here a lot. So we get to see him. He's around us. He gets to see the school. He helps clean up. Natazak on him. But Natazak has never really just pressured him to do this, which I understand. So something came up around Christmas time. And some family members, I believe, of Natazak's old lady wanted to take his son to like this Christmas party, a pre-Christmas party, something like that. And Natazak going crazy, because nobody's answering the phone. He's not trying to have his son do no Christmas party. Anyway, Natazak, I guess he finally gets a hold of his son. I don't know who called who. Oh, I think he called his son or his son called him. I forget. Anyway, he was like, "Where you at, boy?" And his son, I'm not gonna say his name. His son said, "Hey, I'm at the house." Like, he like, "Oh, I thought you would have been at what's the name house?" At the party, he was like, "Man, no, man, I ain't going over there. I'm trying to get the kingdom." And hey, look, do you know how happy that made me? That's not even my child, but it made me so happy that this young man does not want to celebrate Christmas. Why? Because he wants the kingdom. Verbatim, that is the words out of his mouth. I want the kingdom.
Beautiful.
Now when I see him, it's like, oh man,
it's beautiful. But you see how it all trickles down.
Right.
Like we know Nadazak. That's my brother.
That's
man.
my brother.
We all see how righteous of a brother Nadazak is, and then you see how it trickles down. But
come on, man.
Like you said, I ain't about to get into it. But like we know Nadazak. I know that brother. We got raised up together, all that, and that man works. That man puts in a lot of work.
Activity.
True. And you see how he works. You see? And that's for everybody. I want everybody to take note of that. Most times, Christ, you are. Everybody take note of this. Like, you're going to have your days, let's just say in attack, you trust me. He's going to make his rounds. He trust me.
Yeah.
I know. I know. But you always have to keep in mind, like, look, we don't have the kingdom yet.
Right.
Christ ain't here yet. Like, we can't stop. Like, we trying to undo all the wickedness that our forefathers have done.
Right.
And we trying to get the kingdom. Kingdom not here yet. We in San Bernardino. I swear every single time we teach, I hear like cops going down.
Every single time.
I'm thinking about moving out of my apartment now because it's always somebody getting shot up over there. Like all the time.
That's crazy.
Like literally, there's always somebody getting shot. Like we trying to go to sleep, and I have to wonder if somebody just crashed their car or is it gunshots. I'm like, them damn sure ain't fireworks. I know what that is. My point being is, gotta keep working. Got to keep working. I know it's hard.
Right.
But guess what? So what? You work hard for everything else.
Right.
You might as well at least try to be righteous. Not just for you, but for your children. And if you don't have children yet, Lord allow you do have at least one.
Right.
Your life might have not been the greatest, like how Jacob's life was the greatest. Yeah, for the most part. But the last, I think, was like 17 years. Yeah, 17 years. Yeah, it was 130, and then 140, 147, and he got to see his sons, mostly Joseph, but like to see how righteous he was, and he got to chill. It might have been the last 17 years, but towards the end, it was like, I did all right. All that work paid off.
Right.
I don't know about you, but when I get old, Lord allow, I want to be able to sit back, and I hope Christ's back by then, because but on the off chance he's not back yet, I at least want to see my kids, my grandkids,
right,
and think, you know what, I did all right.
Yeah.
I want that. It's a lot. Yeah.
That's what I tell my old lady. One day we're gonna look back and we're gonna see what you produced. That's what you want to do. You want to look back and say, this is what I produced. What do you think God is doing? You think he's sitting back and like, I produced this? I gotta kill it. You get that? He's looking back. See, most of us sitting up there like, these are my people. I can make a new family out of a rock. Because y'all messing up. So why won't you decide to look at your family like that? Why don't you raise them correctly? Why don't you teach them the laws, statutes, commandments? Why don't you work so they can see what hard work looks like for the Lord? And then what I think about Commander Junior Hunter sometime, and I know we about to end it. And just we talked about this. Think about how it was nobody around. Everybody left.
Yeah.
And now you go to Passover, he's sitting up there. That's our Father. He sit up there and he looks down, and you just see. I think about it. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of brothers in his school, a lot of sisters, a lot of kids. Year after year after year. Think about the general sitting up there and be like, man, look. Yeah, I remember it was just us three. Now it's crazy. That's great. You got brothers in the UK saving their money up for a year just to fly out here. Come on, man.
Think about that. From the UK, We got a school out. What was it? A police officer at the Walker Bar. He went out not that long ago to help out brothers in Puerto Rico. You got a school out there. You got brothers in the Dominican Republic. You got brothers Haiti. I think they starting to like. It's just so much, man, and it's so beautiful. But that all came about because of work, activity, and we still working. Lord allow 10 years down the road, shoot, it might be twice as many, 3 times as many brothers and sisters here changing their lives, getting off of drugs. Stop like soliciting yourselves, being a lady at a night. You brothers out here getting every and anything pregnant. You don't want to raise your kids. You like all types of stuff, man. And you fix yourself. You fix yourself.
Does this sound like a hate group?
I know. I see some. I ain't,
Yeah.
but I don't know. But you know what?
That's fine.
It's because that's threatening. This is threatening to the oppressor.
Yeah, of course, whoever you are, we appreciate it.
So,
Wow.
But it's a beautiful thing. So that's what. If you really want that, you should continue to work. It's gonna get hard.
Right.
Jacob worked hard for 130 years. Last 17 years,
Man of Goshen.
he got to chill out.
Chill.
He got to chill and just see his kids, grandkids. They got wives now.
Come on,
Like it's beautiful. So that's what you can take from this account, at least, right?
Yes.
So we'll be actually, we'll be almost finishing up either by next week or the week after that.
Oh, next week we're going to Genesis 49. So if you do want the 12 tribes breakdown, don't worry, we got it for you. Now, because we got to do it in the class setting. Can't break it down everything, but you will see why these certain tribes are this. You will see, these people, yeah, Mexicans really are Israelites. Yeah, that's what you really gonna see. Because that's who people hate the most for some odd reason. I don't know why they just hate Mexicans. Them people work hard. Them people work. Man, my wife is pregnant and working. That is crazy to me. I'm like, you need to stop.
Because they be unbothered. That's what it is.
It's crazy.
Unbothered, just working hard. That pisses people off. Yeah. For everybody that tuned in, for the sake of time, I'm gonna speed it up towards the end. But for everybody that tuned in, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. We really appreciate the feedback as always. We always love it. Again, this is a class. It ain't a Christian church.
Right.
You ain't interrupting no concert.
Right.
You're always free to ask questions, and we want your feedback. We got to keep pushing this truth out. With that, shalom.